My ex won't abide by the custody arrangement. What do I do? I'm Tulsa attorney James Worth, and that is the question that we have as it relates to Oklahoma law. What do you do if your ex is not abiding by the custody agreement? Well, first off, the question back would be, is this something you guys have agreed to outside of court, or is this something that has been entered as a court order? If you guys have an arrangement that you've come between yourselves that you've agreed upon, but it hasn't been entered by a court, it's not necessarily enforceable. So you need to get into court to get a court order that is enforceable. So looking at the question again, assuming you do have an order in place, if they're not going by and going along with those terms, abiding by those terms, that means they're violating the court order. So what do you do about that? There's a few different things that you can do. If they're not exercising visitation like they're supposed to, then you can file a motion to modify, request that visitation be taken away. They may be getting the benefit of a decrease in their child support that they're not entitled to because they're not actually exercising the visitation. They may have legal joint custody, but they may not be participating enough to have an effective joint custody arrangement. So you may want to modify to terminate joint custody and get sole custody. If it's on the other side and you're entitled to court order visitation, but the primary custodial parent is denying you that, then you've got other options. You can file a motion to enforce that visitation. By statute, that's supposed to be set for hearing within 21 days, which in Tulsa County is very quick because it takes a long time to get hearings in some of the larger counties in the state of Oklahoma. Also, if they're violating court order on either side, you can file an application for contempt citation showing that that they should be quasi-criminally prosecuted as part of that for violating the court's order. Ultimately in Oklahoma, if they're found guilty of indirect contempt of court, then they can be sentenced to up to 6 months in the county jail as well as up to a $500 fine, and that can be used as kind of force to compel compliance going forward. The other thing is that you can request make-up visitation as part of a motion to enforce. If they're denying you visitation, file the motion to enforce, request that visitation be enforced going forward, but also request make-up visitation for what occurred in the past. Also, that can be a grounds for modifying custody visitation in your favor. If they're not acting in the best interest of the child by denying a relationship with the other parent in violation of court order, that can be grounds to modify to get you more custody or more time. So those are a few different answers for the few different possible circumstances. Your circumstances may be completely unique though. So you need to talk to an attorney privately and confidentially about what's going on in your case to get personalized legal advice. To get that scheduled with a lawyer at my office, you can go online to makelaweasy.com.